South Carolina State kicked our butts. Every way, every fashion, out physical us, out through us, much more disciplined than us. And I feel we were overconfident and overlooked them as if they were just going to hand us the game.
Well, Deion Sanders always keeps it 100. And what he just said was probably the most 100 thing possibly that could be said about the 2021 Celebration Bowl. South Carolina State kicked Jackson State's butt. That's what he said. Stephen J. Gaither joining me. That is pretty much true, and it was pretty much a surprise, not what most people expected to happen this year.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson State comes into this game, all the momentum in the world, 11-1. The Swaggers had a great year. They won that gauntlet. The MEAC, has been the underdog all year. And even then, there were some games that were tight for South Carolina State. But, they were tired of hearing about Jackson State, seeing Jackson State everywhere. And they had some time to game plan, and here we are.
All right, in case you missed it, it was nationally televised on ABC. Let's check out the highlights of South Carolina State's upset victory. Bulldogs and Tigers take the field in front of a quite full Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Both of these programs standing on the shoulders of Hall of Famers. 3 living Hall of Famers in attendance today. That's HBCU legacy. On to the present. Jackson State getting warmed up on its second drive of the game. Shedeur Sanders finds Kylan Ritchie 22 yards for a first down. Warren Newman, he picks up a first down here, and finally, it's the touchdown duo again. Sanders to Keith Corbin, 7-0 Jackson State. First quarter, South Carolina State offense couldn't play dead in a cowboy movie. Start of the second quarter, things don't get much better. 3rd and 18, Corey Fields picked off here by Shiloh Sanders, and then we're going to cap it all off with what's either a Russian squat dance or something all the cool kids are doing, and I'm just not up on it. Probably the latter. 3:34 to go before the half. The pocket collapses here on Sanders. He's hit hard and fumbles. The Bulldogs have to take advantage of that field position. They do. Corey Fields to Shaq Davis. Tied at 7, and South Carolina State feeling a little less underdog-ish. Just before the half, South Carolina State manages a field goal, and they take a 10-7 lead into the break. Coach Sanders hoping to see something a little different in the second half because he knew something was off to start the game.
We was a little lackadaisical. We didn't have that fight. We had it in the locker room before the game because we turned up. But it was just something missing. And when you look in their eyes, you see something was missing.
Third quarter, usually when JSU turns things up, but the turnover bug bites again, ricocheting off the intended receiver into the hands of Octavian Minter. Again, South Carolina State takes advantage of the turnover. Fields to Shaq Davis. Again, 16 yards for the score, and here comes the boom. South Carolina State up 17-7, and they have everyone's attention. 2 plays later, after the kickoff, Sanders intercepted again. This time, Aaron Smith with the pick. James Houston here with the sack on 3rd down seemed to swing the momentum back to Jackson State, but the Bulldogs go for it on 4th and 19. 4th and 19. They convert. Oh, wow. That's Wolverine with the catch. Again, Houston doing all that he can. Another sack, but the Bulldogs unbothered. Fields connecting with Richard Bailey, 24-7 in the third quarter. Next drive, a 3-and-out for the South Carolina State defense. Jacoby Durant with the big corner blitz, bringing down Sanders for a 13-yard loss there. But just before the end of the third quarter, J-State puts together a 43-yard drive that ends with a field goal. That bend don't break rule by the Bulldogs. Never giving up one of those big plays to get that crowd going crazy. It's 24-10 starting the fourth quarter. Second possession of the fourth quarter, South Carolina State, their best offensive drive of the night to close this one out. Fields to Shaq Davis. Yes, it's like on rewind. A 16-yard touchdown to end the drive. Good defense, better offense. South Carolina State up 31-10. That would be the final score, maybe the upset of all upsets for the 2021 HBCU football season. South Carolina State with the Celebration Bowl win over Jackson State.
Well, it's another start in the tradition of South Carolina State football. We've had a lot of good times, and I got an opportunity to play for Coach Jeffries and all of the different kinds of things that went on when he was there, and we had some great times then. And I just want our time with Buddy Pugh at the head, to be similar in some ways at the same time. So, it was a wonderful day for our university, for our football program, for our athletics department as a whole, and hopefully we can build on it and do some things to, maybe improve some of the other facilities and some other kinds of things around there that could make this something that we could make last for a long, long time.
So 31-10, your final score. Let's listen to what some of the players had to say. A trip to the mall, Stephen, turned out to be a pretty inspirational trip for South Carolina State.
We had a little free time to go around Atlanta. I was in the mall, me and my teammates, and a lot of people was like, so y'all the team that Jackson State playing. Like they never heard of South Carolina State. So that was like, we looking at each other like, oh, okay. Well, we already knew we was the underdog, so that was something big on us, especially in the secondary. I was with my guys that was in the secondary with me, and we just in the mall, and a lot of people just stopping us. They're like, oh, do y'all play basketball? No, we don't play basketball. we playing in the Celebration Bowl.
All right, so that's the Bulldogs. Celebration, they were the underdogs, but they didn't turn out to be underdogs on the scoreboard, but it was a chip that they carried into the game. And really, Stephen, the first half, even though South Carolina State led 10-7, you still had that belief that Jackson State was going to do what they normally do, which is come out in the third quarter and turn things up. But it was actually South Carolina State that turned things up and got more physical in the second half.
Yeah, I think, the story of this game is Shaq and Kobe. That's the Kobe Durant and Shaq Davis. Shaq Davis being the tall, 6'5" wide receiver. The South Carolina State offense, they were maligned. The quarterback, Corey Fields, hasn't had the greatest completion percentage and things like that. But in that second half, he was a man among boys, bullying a Jackson State defensive backfield that had, been pretty solid all year. So, they took that underdog mentality. The cues from their coach, Buddy Pugh, who's been in this game a long time. He isn't the name that Deion Sanders has, but obviously he has the coaching chops, and he's been in this game a long time. And he had a couple extra weeks to prepare for Jackson State, and they executed pretty well.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to Davis, or everybody did, but I did ask him in the press conference, what was the difference between the battles he wasn't winning with those DBs and corners in the first half and the second half when he was? Here's what Davis had to say.
I just had to play more physical. I wasn't getting no calls. It was grabbing, pulling, pushing. I just had to stop complaining and just get physical with them back.
Okay, so that's the story here. South Carolina State gets the win. A lot of people say, well, Jackson State is still the best team of the year, but the way we've always gone by, the house rules, whoever wins the Celebration Bowl is the do we even call it mythical anymore? We just kind of resorted to the HBCU national champion.
Some of us would. Some of us have written that it in a situation like this, you may question it. It'll be hard to say that South Carolina State isn't, though, because they did what nobody else in HBCU football has been able to do. That's beat Jackson State. They've taken their lumps and bruises early in the year, had to skate in to get here almost a little bit. But, credit to them. They showed the heart of a champion. They executed and a championship mentality. And just great for South Carolina State, who the university's had a lot of challenges and things like that. So, hey, if anybody wants to call them champs, I mean, who's to say that they're not?
And how can you not root for Buddy Pugh? He is one of the most personable, right, down-to-earth. I don't know anybody that doesn't like Buddy Pugh, so it's hard not to be happy for him. But for Jackson State, when you look at storylines, it's almost like the Miami Heat, the first year of the Big Three. They're the favorites, but they can't beat Dallas. And it just kind of adds to their storyline for next year. We're still the big kids on the block, the big dog on the block, but we have that chip on our shoulder because we didn't complete and finish out what we wanted to do this season, which when they go into next season, they'll be looking back at it.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, they got the biggest story, arguably, of the year in HBCU sports when they got Travis Hunter earlier this week. And of course, so even more of the talk that was already going towards them continue to go, feeding into South Carolina State filling ads and being the underdog. And so, it's for them. It's a learning experience, a great one, to finish 11-2 from where they had been previously. And it gives something else to reach for, like you say, as they continue to say they've got more recruits coming. We'll have to see. And obviously, they could have used Travis Hunter out here today against Shaq Davis.
Point taken. Well said. All right. He's Stephen J. Gaither. I'm Tolly Carr. This is the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They're cleaning up all the confetti. South Carolina State, you guys enjoy the party tonight all the way back to Orangeburg in Atlanta. I'm Tolly Carr for HBCU Gameday. We'll talk to you guys later.